15th century. Europe enters an era of immense change. The old feudal order is losing its power, and trade, credit, and money are beginning to define the future. While rulers and emperors seek means for war, diplomacy, and power, a new power rises from the free cities of southern Germany. This is the story of a family that proves that wealth can turn into power, and merchants can change the fate of entire countries. From a humble weaver to the most powerful financial dynasty of his time, this is the story of the Fuggers and the man who history will remember as Jacob the Rich. In the 15th century, the Holy Roman Empire was a fragmented mosaic of principalities, duchies, ecclesiastical domains, and free cities. The Habsburgs owned vast lands but were constantly short of money. The new era required mercenary armies, sophisticated diplomacy, and vast financial resources. In this world, Augsburg became a key trading center. The city connected Italy with the markets of Northern Europe. Textiles brought wealth, and the mining of silver and copper became the basis of the new economy. Since state banks did not exist, rulers, popes, and emperors began to depend on private merchant families, thus opened the way for the rise of the Fuggers. The beginning was made when Hans Fugger arrived in Augsburg as a simple village weaver. Instead of working only as a craftsman, he built a successful trading network for cotton and fabrics. Through carefully selected marriages, he gained influence, civil rights, and a place among the city's elite. After his death, his widow Elizabeth successfully managed the business, and the next generation continued the expansion. The family gradually splits into two branches. The wealthier branch takes excessive risks and eventually goes bankrupt. The other chooses a cautious and disciplined approach that ensures steady growth. Jacob the Elder transformed the family firm into one of the richest in Augsburg and left his heirs stable capital, international connections, and a place among the city's elite. Thus, the foundations of the future financial empire were laid. On March 6, 1459, Jacob Fugger was born, whom the world will remember as Jacob the Rich. Initially, his family prepared him for an ecclesiastical career, but after the early deaths of several of his brothers, he was returned to the family business, a decision that changed the history of Europe. Sent to Venice, young Jacob studied the most modern commercial practices of the time. There he mastered double-entry bookkeeping, currency transactions, bills of exchange, and the international financial system. He understands that true power lies not only in goods, but in control of capital, information, and credit. After returning to Augsburg, Jacob turned his attention to large loans and rulers. His most important partner became Archduke Sigismund of Tyrol, who was constantly in need of funds. Instead of simply waiting for the loans to be repaid, Jacob demanded control over the production of silver and copper from the Tyrolean mines. Thus, credit became control over the most valuable resources of the era. This decision marks the beginning of a new model. The Fuggers are no longer just bankers. They become owners of raw materials that drive the economy of Europe. After that, Jacob expanded his influence to Hungary. Through an alliance with mining entrepreneur János Thurzó, he gained access to new technologies and some of the richest deposits in Central Europe. From that moment on, the construction of an unparalleled financial and industrial empire began. János Thurzó provided the technology, and Jakob Fugger provided the huge capital. Thus was born the first truly transnational production network. Copper ore was mined near Banska Bystrica, and then processed in various centers throughout Central Europe. Fugger built transport routes and a logistics system that connected the mines to markets on the continent. Silver powered the mints of Europe, and copper reached Antwerp and Lisbon, from where it was used in global trade. To maintain their dominance, the Fugger formed cartels, controlled supplies, and influenced prices. Shortly after the beginning of the 16th century, the family controlled nearly half of Europe's honey production. This industrial power made Jakob Fugger the most important financial partner of the Habsburgs. Emperor Maximilian the Resvouwen relied on his capital for wars and political ambitions. Fugger financed military campaigns against France, Venice, and Hungary, and in return received tax rights, state revenues, and new mining concessions. To protect himself from the risk of the rulers not paying their debts, he makes the state dependent on its own economic system. Control over copper meant control over weapons production and the empire's ability to wage war. Along with wealth, Fugger also gained prestige. He purchased the counties of Kirchberg and Weidenhorn, and later he received a noble title, becoming an imperial count. The descendant of a village weaver is now a feudal lord with his own lands. His influence also reached the Roman Catholic Church. Thanks to his network of offices, Fugger facilitated the transfer of church funds from all over Europe to Rome via bills of exchange. This brings in large profits and strengthens his ties with the Vatican. Between the early and mid-16th century, the Fuggers ran the papal mint, minting dozens of types of coins for different popes. The culmination of their influence came when Archbishop Albrecht of Brandenburg sought means to obtain the highest church position in Germany. Jacob Fugger provided the necessary loan, and Pope Leo X authorized the sale of special indulgences. Part of the proceeds went to the construction of St. Peter's Basilica, and the rest was used to pay off the debt to Fugger. The sale of indulgences caused serious discontent. When Martin Luther published his 95 Theses, he launched the Reformation. Luther later openly criticized the great merchant families, including the Fuggers, accusing them of monopolies and market manipulation. Jakob Fugger remained a staunch defender of the existing order because his wealth was closely linked to the Habsburgs and the Catholic Church. To protect his financial interests, he supported theologians who argued for the right to profit from investment and risk. These ideas gradually helped to bring about the adoption of new financial practices in Europe. While he did not create the Reformation, his financial system contributed to the tensions that already existed within the Church. When religious conflicts began, Fugger supported the Habsburgs and defended the established order with his enormous wealth. The most important political battle came after the death of Emperor Maximilian I. At that time, the Habsburgs owed Fugger huge sums of money. If a representative of another dynasty were to ascend the imperial throne, the family's entire financial system, as well as its monopolies, could be lost. After the death of Maximilian I, a fierce struggle for the imperial crown began. The main candidates were Charles I of Spain, Francis I of France, and Henry VIII of England. The 7 electors used the situation to increase their influence and profits. France invested huge funds in supporting its candidate, and the Habsburgs faced a real danger of losing the throne. To protect his investments and control of the mines, Jacob Fugger organized a massive financing campaign in support of Carlos. With the help of a banking alliance, he provided huge funds that guaranteed the success of the candidacy. The choice is not decided by money alone. Political pressure, military power, and diplomatic agreements also play an important role. Fugger's financial support, however, gave Charles the decisive advantage, and he became Emperor Charles V. After the victory, Jacob received new privileges and access to extremely lucrative resources in Spain. Particularly valuable were the mercury mines, which were vital for the processing of silver from the New World and brought huge profits. In the following years, Fugger's empire reached its peak. His trading offices connected almost all of Europe, and a well-organized network of couriers provided him with rapid information on markets, politics, and wars. This allows him to make decisions faster than his competitors and maintain his enormous influence. But success also generated strong resistance. Attempts began in the imperial assemblies to limit monopolies and break his economic power. When the danger becomes real, Jacob directly reminds Charles V how important his financial support was to obtaining the crown. The emperor sides with him and blocks measures against the family. In the midst of criticism, Jacob created one of his most remarkable legacies. In Augsburg, he built the Fuggerei, the oldest operating social housing complex in the world. There, poor but respected citizens receive a home for a symbolic rent and the obligation to pray for the Fugger family. This project is, at the same time, charity, a religious act, and a carefully constructed public reputation. While many accuse him of greed, Fuggerei shows another side to his legacy. In the last years of his life, Jacob groomed his nephew Anton as the heir to the vast financial system. When he died at the end of the 15th century, he left a fortune that surpassed the wealth of many European rulers. Anton initially continued to expand the empire and achieved even greater wealth, but gradually the model created by Jacob began to show its weaknesses. European mines were losing their importance, and the vast quantities of silver from the New World were changing the market. The Spanish rulers were declaring bankruptcy, dealing a heavy blow to the family's financial system. Over time, the commercial empire weakened, but the Fuggers managed to preserve their wealth by turning it into lands, castles, and noble titles. Thus, the heirs of the ordinary weaver from Graben became part of the European aristocracy. Today, Jacob Fugger is often compared to the greatest entrepreneurs of the modern era. Like them, he transformed entire industries, built vast networks, and concentrated enormous economic power. But his world is different. He trades not with consumers, but with rulers, church leaders, and countries. His greatest legacy is not wealth, but a new model of power. Jacob Fugger shows that capital can influence politics, the economy, and the fate of entire countries. He becomes a symbol of the transition between the medieval world and the beginning of the modern financial age. The story of Jacob the Rich is a story of the rise of money as a new power in Europe. From the family of a weaver, an empire was born that financed rulers, controlled raw materials, influenced the church, and participated in events that changed the course of history. Whether we see him as a brilliant entrepreneur or a ruthless financier, one thing remains indisputable. Jacob Fugger proved that wealth can change the world just as powerfully as armies and crowns. If you found this story interesting, like the video and subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss the next documentary stories about the people, events, and ideas that changed the world. Thank you for watching, and until the next story.